What is stamp duty? Stamp duty, as defined by Section 2 of the Stamp Duties Act, is an impressed pattern or mark by means of an engraved or ink block die as an adhesive stamp or an electronic stamp or an electronic acknowledgement for denoting any duty or fee.
Thank you for joining us on today's episode of Tax Matters. I am Chamaka Ohauchi. Last week, the airwaves were abuzz with news and information on stamp duties, and trust us, we were on top of everything, dictating the pace. In fact, if you recall very well, the last 2 episodes of the program were dedicated to stamp duty matters. Many matters have arisen, but we must begin by observing that just like in the case of the Finance Act 2019, where pundits chose to go to town with only the amendment in the rate of VAT from 5% to 7.5%, most commentators on stamp duties have tended to focus on stamp duties on rent and lease. But the questions that we must ask ourselves are few. Is stamp duties a new tax type? No. Is the stamp duties law a new law? No. Are the chargeable instruments or documents in the list new? No. Are the chargeable rates newly fixed? No. Are the rates too high? No. 50 naira, 500 naira, 0.375%, 0.78%, 1%. And of course, the outcry with regards to too many taxes at this point in time in the midst of economic recession occasioned by COVID-19. That, we must say, is a different kettle of fish. As the tax administrators like to remind us every time, their own duty is to assess, collect, and account for taxes collected. Tax collectors do not spend tax money. That is the remit of political leaders elected by us all. And even in that regard, the FIRS and many of the state revenue authorities have come up with COVID-19 palliatives, as we have shown you on this program several times, and we commend them. Today on the program, we are sticking with stamp duties, and we want to begin by feeding you with information that will make it easy and convenient for you to comply. We'll begin by looking at some of the chargeable instruments and the applicable rates. Of course, it is a long list of 53 chargeable instruments that require stamp duties. We'll begin from the top. Appointment of receiver is a flat rate of 500 naira and 50 naira for the extra copy. Appointment of trustees or attorney attracts the same rate. Where it concerns appraisement or valuation of property, it is an ad valorem rate of 1.5%. Stamp duty on bank check is payable at a flat rate of 1 naira per leaflet. Bank deposit or transfer is also a flat rate of 50 naira. Bill of sale attracts 1.5%, while bonds also attract an ad valorem rate of 0.375%. Certificate of occupancy, C of O, the almighty C of O, attracts a flat rate of 1,000 naira, while the extra copy attracts just 50 naira.
This kind of nonsense has to end today. Why would the bank be removing somebody's money every time like that?
Mr. John.
My neighbor!
Yes, sir. Why are you rushing to like this?
Can you imagine? I just sent money to my son, and I got a debit alert of 50 naira from my bank as stamp duty. I am going to seek explanation from my bank because I made a transfer, not post a letter.
Mr. John, let me explain what stamp duty is. Stamp duty is not all about postage stamp matters. The 50 naira is a stamp duty levy charged by banks on customers who make transfers of 10,000 naira and above from one bank account to another bank account.
And why should I pay stamp duty for my hard-earned money?
Mr. John, paying stamp duty levy is a civic duty for every patriotic citizen. The taxes we all pay are collected and used by the government to pay salaries and provide basic amenities for citizens. It's even easier to make stamp duty payments now. All you need to do as a taxpayer is to log on to the following: www.stampduty.gov.ng or www.firs.gov.ng and click on e-stamping. By the way, Mr. John, it pays to pay your tax, you know.
Oh, thank you very
Yes,
much.
sir.
Thank you, my daughter.
You're welcome,
My
sir.
regards to your family.
All right, sir.
This broadcast is powered by FIRS, Federal Inland Revenue Service.
Welcome back. How do you go about paying for stamp duties? Mr. Korede Lawal is the Commissioner of Stamp Duties, Ikeja Stamp Duty Office of the FIRS in Lagos.
Let's begin by asking you, why do I need to stamp my documents? As an individual, as a corporate body, what is in it for me?
Thank you very much, Mr. Moderator. I want to talk briefly on stamp duty before going to that question. Stamp duty is a tax on instruments. By instruments, I mean it must be a written instrument. We are in a global world, and in any global business world, you see that a lot of agreements will be coming to places. And when I mean in a global business, you have a lot of agreements coming up between individuals, between corporate organizations. So that's why you need to do stamping. You need to stamp your document. The reason why you have to stamp your document is to have a legal backing. Yes, it gives you a legal backing on the instrument. There are some agreement that might wants to go bad. You can't rule that out. And as a result of enforcing that agreement, any of the party might need to go to court of law. So once you have stamp duty your instrument, you are just free to go to court of law because you are sure that it's going to be admissible there. So it's only a stamped document that can stand the test of admissibility, that is, taking it to court and being used as evidence. So that is the main reason why you need to stamp your document. Again, stamping of document might make the document to be genuine, because as a person, but as a businessman, if you have an agreement with anybody and you realize that such agreement has been stamp duty, which means that the tax has been paid on that agreement, you feel confident that, yes, definitely this agreement is being known by the federal government. The federal government has, having paid the tax on that agreement, you know that, yes, this should have a legal backing when you are taking it to court of law.
Okay. Take us through the step-by-step process of getting a document stamp duty. What are the steps?
Yes, if you want to stamp a document, the first thing you need to do is to bring it up for adjudication. Adjudication is by way of assessing that document. That will be done by the commissioner. After assessment, you can now go ahead to make payment. And the payment, I can split it into two. You can pay probably using pay direct method. We've not closed our window for that. Though the automation is ongoing, you can as well pay online. Let me take you through the process of direct payment. You can use means of payment like check draft. You can go to the bank with your check. You take FIRS, customized teller. You fill in the teller. Once it's duly filled, you give it to the cashier. That is across the counter. The process will be done. E-ticket, that is electronic ticket, will be issued. You take it along with your documents or instruments to FRS Stamp Duty Office, where the stamp duty process will commence. Then let me go through the online system of payment. Making payment online, you log on to stamp duty website, that is www.stampduty.gov.ng. Then the first thing you do there is to create an account using your tax identification number. Once you create an account, you use TIN, then you use your email too. It's very important, email address. Once you create an account and you are through, password will be sent to your email box. So when you are logging on to process or to make payments, you log on with that your password. Then it will take you to FRS payment portal. There you click on selected stamp duty, the kind of stamp duty you want to pay. Either it's a contract, or it's a deed of assignment, or loan capital. When you click on it, then you need to feed in some information of the parties involved in that agreement and the parties' tax identification number. After that, you now click on mode of payment. Either you want to use remitter or you want to use a Visa or MasterCard. Then once you are done with paying with that mode of payment, then your stamp duty certificate will be sent to your email, which you can download. And the features of the stamp duty certificate, it has a stamp duty certificate number, and it has the name of initiator, the name of party to that agreement, and so on and so forth. So when you bring such documents, the stamp duty certificate with your document to stamp duty office, all we need to do for confirmation is just to log on back. That is the office now. We log on to stamp duty website and you go to verification. Just input the certificate number for confirmation. Once we confirm that, then we start the process of the stamping of the document. And the good aspect of it is that you can sit anywhere and make your payment. A payment you made in Kano, and if you want to stamp in Lagos, once you are here with your stamp duty certificate, the onus is on us to just confirm such certificate. Once it is genuine and we've seen the money in the web portal, we carry out the process of stamping, and that takes about 48 hours after payment and submission. We need to mention this pay direct system. When you make payment in bank, let me say it is not a real-time payment. That is pay direct method, because we will not be able to access the money that same day. The following day, it will hit the web portal and we will be able to generate receipts. Don't forget I said the automation is ongoing, but in order not to have loss of revenue, we still open that pay direct system pending when we are going to have full automation. So the document will be vetted by the commissioner, ensure that the appropriate money has been paid, then the stamping will take place. That is electronic stamping. And the features of the electronic stamping system is that one can, once you have the document, there are some things you can verify. You can verify where the document was stamped. If it is Ikeja, it is on the face of the document there. The stamping will show where it was stamped, the time of stamping, the date of stamping, the amount paid. So those are the features that once you see, you'll be able to know that, okay, this document is coming from Lagos Island or is coming from Ikeja office or from Abuja, should in case need be for verification and or other things like that.
Let's look at it this way. We want to know exactly who comes to you. You are Federal Inland Revenue Service. Yes. And so you collect stamp duties on transactions between corporate bodies and between corporate bodies and individuals, as well as MDAs and individuals. Let's look at an agreement, a contract agreement. Who brings the contract to you? Is it the contractor or the MDA? Or a loan agreement? Who comes to the FRS? Is it the bank or the individual? Who comes to you?
Really, I want to start with the circular. There was a circular issued by Accountant General of the Federation instructing all the MDAs to deduct stamp duty at source.
Good.
Yes. So before the payment to beneficiary of such contracts, they will have deducted 1% of the contract sum,
okay,
and remit same to Federal Inland Revenue Service.
Okay.
But before the advent of the circular, what is obtainable is that a contractor will bring the contract agreement to the office for adjudication and goes from there to make payments.
By adjudication,
that is assessment.
You mean assessment?
Yes. We always make publication sensitizing duty payers about the rates, applicable rates of stamp duty. Since the publication are in public domain, they can as well do their calculation and go to bank to make payment. So sometimes you don't see them coming for assessment. They just come with evidence of payment. And all you just need to do is to ensure that the applicable rates are applied and you process their document.
Our first question to you was about the need for me, either as an individual or as a corporate body, to stamp duty my documents.
Yes.
And you spoke about the fact that it makes it admissible in evidence in case there's a dispute. Very good. And you did say a few minutes ago that before, contractors brought contract agreements for assessment and payment. But the Accountant General now instructed MDAs to deduct the 1% stamp duty on contract at source and pay. So, are you saying all contractors should feel comfortable that as far as making these documents admissible in evidence, that the government, that is through the MDAs, the government will have done the needful?
Yeah.
There's no problem.
I don't think there's any problem.
What if a ministry or a department or an agency of government fails to carry out that instruction of the Accountant General? What happens to the contractor?
What we've been experiencing some level of cooperation from the MDAs.
Okay.
And I think the aim of management of FRS is to block some loopholes there, and is to make things easier for the contractors.
Okay.
You can imagine a contractor that was awarded a contract of 1 billion and wants to pay 1% as stamp duty, which he needs to go and source for. Sometimes some of them might not have that cash flow.
At that beginning.
Yeah. By deduction, that means that has been taken off him. It's only the balance that will just go into his account. So I think the contractors, by that system of deduction at source, they should be at rest that they don't have problem. And like you have said, stamping makes the document legal. Because in an agreement, you have sometimes they may give you a specification, and it might be from either of the party. The contract can go bad from either of the parties, either the contractor or the agent.
Yes.
Yes, so once it is stamped, the two parties can just go and they can sleep and close their eyes that, yes, they don't have problem on such agreement because already it has government hands. And when there is dispute, you can enforce it. You can go to court and seek redress.
We take it that it's easier now with this automation, with the advent of electronic stamping, that it's easier for me to authenticate the duty, the stamping, rather, of a document. How do I verify the authenticity of stamp duty that has been done by a different party that concerns me?
Okay. I would
under
like
this electronic system.
Okay, I would like to speak further on the stamp duty automation. It's ongoing. We've gotten to a level that you can make your payment online. Unlike the automation that we've carried out in collaboration with CAC. That is, if someone wants to register a new company, definitely the documents usually pass through stamp duty because you have to pay stamp duty on. But the automation that has been done in collaboration with CAC, once you make payment, you file in your document and make payment for CAC fee, and it takes you to FRS platform where you pay stamp duty online too. And immediately you've done that, the document will be stamped automatically. So if you are doing business incorporation or registration, you don't need to see any commissioner. It's online now. So your stamp duty certificate too, you generate it online and you just upload with CAC document and you collect your certificate. But we are still on that when it comes to other documents as far as stamp duty is concerned. Management is working very hard to ensure that coming days, the duty payers don't even need to see the commissioner. You will be assessed online. The system will tell you how much to pay. You make your payment, you upload your document, and it will be stamped automatically. So wherever you want to submit it to, you take it there with the stamp duty certificate. And the verification that you have said is just going on your system and logging on to stamp duty website. You click on verification. The stamp duty certificate number used to start with the year. If you had paid 2019, you start with 2019. So once you input the certificate number, the system will confirm the payment for you. Then definitely you know that yes, such payment is genuine.
Anyone with a phone that has barcode capability can verify the genuineness of the e-stamp duty certificate with his phone.
Let us quickly point out here that the stamping, the old school stamping that we all are familiar with and that you have seen and are seeing on your screen are still in use at the State Internal Revenue Services. But the FRS, as the pay setter, has gone digital because of the large volume of stamp duties requirements relating to the incorporation of businesses, increase in share capital, and all that, the Corporate Affairs Commission and the FRS collaborated in the interest of the ease of doing business to accommodate the Stamp Duties Office within CAC premises across the country. But as we have informed you a few episodes ago, much of the stamp duty requirements relating to operation of businesses is now done seamlessly and electronically, real-time, online.
The law requires stamp duty to be paid on the share capital of a company. at the point of registration or during the increase of any share capital, and that is paid ad valorem. In addition to that, the law also requires that the memorandum and articles of association of the company must be stamped as a deed. So, which means stamp duty has to be paid on that as well. So we have two forms of stamp duties that come under our purview. As of today, the payment is made electronically. We have achieved integration between our two systems, where customers don't even have to visit CAC or go to FIRS. Once they submit their applications online, the payment is made automatically, and what is due to FIRS goes to FIRS account, what is due to CAC goes to CAC account. We have taken this to a further level, where at the point of registration, the certificate of registration comes out with the tax identification number of the company.
We thank you most sincerely for watching. See you next week.